Hey everybody, how's it going? Funny story. So, I had this limited series featuring Ford Puma Rally 1 hybrid overview playthrough of the event itself, all going smoothly. That is until I ran into a roadblock in Tier 13, where they have a speed record event at the, oh my goodness, this is seared into my memory now, at Circuit of the Americas, club circuit. And with what we typically do with upgrade tree regarding these cars to meet the PR requirement, where we get 3 upgrades across the board, well, it's impossible with this car because, the WRC category, of course, has 2 cars now, this Ford and the other one, Toyota. If it were Toyota that has a higher top speed with the same upgrades, would be fine. This one, not so much. So, yeah. So 3 upgrades across the board, unfortunately, even though PR requirement-wise, it's sufficient. In the race-wise, you cannot actually get past one event, speed record in Tier 13. And you understand, this is limited series, meaning you cannot just skip one race. You're going to end up spending a whole lot more than what the car, I would say, is worth. Because remember, this car is featured in the same Motorsports event or the season, the WRC Challenge. Meaning you don't even need this car in the first place. Why would anybody want this car? Well, having 2 cars in otherwise single car series just speeds up your process because you can switch between 2 cars, so you don't have to sit there and watch ads, right? And these cars also have a longer service time because, like we've had 3-hour fairly standard service time for just about every car in the past, I want to say, almost the past decade. But more recently, they start going back to where different cars have different service hours. And this one happens to fall on a longer side of service time, like 4 hours and 20 minutes for servicing this car. So, yeah. So that's the other thing. So, long story short, basically, what you need to meet the PR requirement, upgrade scheme changes a little bit where you have to spend a little bit more gold and motorsport dollars than, let's say, if you were to go 3 upgrades across the board. So if you already did 3 upgrades across the board, you basically need to get 2 more upgrades on engine to push your top speed higher, and no amount of bot training, by the way, will make that speed record passable without the extra upgrades on the engine. So the other way around is, if you haven't started this event yet, then you have a completely different upgrade. Well, not completely different, but slightly altered upgrade tree. So we'll talk about that in a second. So here, let's once again do the usual. You get to win the car by 100% completing, right? The car is worth $2.25 million, so 2,250,000 motorsport dollars. It's a motorsport dollar car. Thing to notice about that is they rarely have discount on motorsport dollar cars. So take that as what it may mean to you. And of course, victory point. That's really the reason, one of the primary reasons why any of us would choose to run through this event, just for that completion, right? And then 50 gold and 150,000 motorsport dollars. So PR meet the PR requirement, right? Which is 56.2. If you were to get like just 3 upgrades across the board, it costs, I want to say, like 260-ish gold. Because now that, as it turns out, is not enough in order to get past the particular speed record, you have to put extra upgrades on the speed elements, and we don't need obviously as many upgrades on, say, brakes, because that does not contribute anything to speed of the car, right? Top speed of the car. So here, the rewards breakdown. 25%, you need PR 47.5, which, by the way, is not possible without any gold upgrades on this car. 750 victory points, 5 gold, 150 or 150, 15,000 motorsport dollars, and then 50% completion, which you need PR 50 in order to get past tier 7. And that pays you additional 1,000 victory points, 10 gold, and 25,000 motorsport dollars. And the 75% completion gets you additional 1,500 victory points, 15 gold, and 50,000 motorsport dollars. And you need PR 53. And then, of course, the 100% completion, you need PR 56.2, and you earn the car itself 2,000 victory points, 20 gold, and 60,000 motorsport dollars. Right, so with that being said, as soon as you start the event, you have 3-hour window of instant service and instant upgrades. So if you can get it done within first 3 hours. Now, by the time you reach about like tier 8, you're gonna max out the daily motorsport dollar cap, right? So I think it'll probably take you about like hour and a half to get through first 8 tiers. So depending on the time zone you're in, this might work out beautifully, or it might be just a pain in the neck to try to get split it up hour and a half before your daily motorsport dollar cap gets reset. So that way you can take advantage of hour and a half before it resets, and max out the daily earning, and you still have another hour and a half to go through the remainder of the limited series. Basically, it's sort of a second half, although I have a feeling, because later part of the series your payout gets higher, basically longer races, it may end up being like technically like 3-day events, because simply based on the fact that you will max out your daily earning cap they have on the motorsport dollars, which is kind of unfortunate, because I feel like during these events maybe they can lift that daily cap, so we can have a little bit easier time. You don't have to like figure out like, oh yeah, my daily motorsport dollar gets reset at certain hour, so I'm gonna start at like hour and a half before that or whatever. That's I don't know if this game deserves that much respect from you. But anyway, that's a story for another time. So here, let's use gold to complete this series right away, so we can check all the necessary information here and how to get the upgrades done and whatnot. So all right, so when you go to the final tier, as I said, PR 56.2 is what's required. So you can get 3 upgrades across the board, as I said before, but that's just not gonna get you past tier 13. So what you need to do is basically bring your engine up to tier 5. So you notice that the tier 4 engine upgrade was 45 gold. So that's where your extra resources goes into, because the other way around, if you went with the brakes, it'll cost you only 30 gold, but that's not the path that's gonna get you enough of a speed boost. But otherwise, you need to get 3 upgrades on just about all the other categories here. So it's going to cost you a total of 309 gold. All right, so suspension. Yeah, we need to get suspension even though it doesn't deal with a speed because PR requirement. Right. So we max out exhaust. We only need 1 on brakes. So there you go. 30 would be preferable in terms of resources, but because it does not help us get past the tier 13, maybe that's why this car's number is 13. As I'm staring at it, it's like something to it. And then of course we maxed out tires and wheels, as you can see, gets us to the same target number of 56.2. We just have to spend 45 extra gold than if we were to get 3 upgrades across the board. But as you can see, now our top speed is 226, and that makes it why I didn't mean to race this. Okay, here we're not going to do the race in this video. However, that gives us enough of a buffer to get past that speed record event in the infamous tier 13, this one as Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit. Yep, so if you check in here, we'll see the target that is seen at the bottom of the rung, right? 219 is the Moises Gabby, right? Who is generally considered the slowest flag bot, right? So it doesn't get any slower than that. 219 is the minimum that you have to hit, and with 3 upgrades across the board at this circuit, it's not possible. You can try forward, backward at different spots on the circuit, doesn't matter. I've tried just about anything and everything, and trust me, it does not work. And I think there are other members on the Real Racing 3 community that has essentially confirmed this information, that this is not a possible goal to get past with 3 upgrades across the board. So you have to get extra engine upgrade anyway. But once you do that, you don't need those extra upgrades on the brakes. So at least you save 30 gold that way. Does it make a big difference? 30 gold difference, but really not that big of a deal. So that's now has been corrected. So now let's just do the usual bid on these types of videos. So we'll go through each tier, and I don't think there's at least I don't think there's any other tier that's going to be really tricky. So here we go. Tier 1, at least I didn't encounter anything until I got to the tier 13. So there you go. All right, so tier 1, we got speed record at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix. So that's a full lap at Red Bull Ring. Probably pays close to 9,000 Motorsport dollars. And then we got a single lap head-to-head at Silverstone International. So international circuit probably pays what, about like maybe 8,000 Motorsport dollars, right? And then we got a cup at Dubai Hill Circuit. It's gonna be 3 laps, but pretty short. So Hill Circuit maybe pays about like 4,000 Motorsport dollars per lap. So 3 laps, it'll be like 12,000 maybe, somewhere around there. I know I went through it, so I should remember, but you know, I'm just going with the like Silverstone Grand Prix or Monza road course being about like the even, pretty close to the 10,000 Motorsport dollar payout per lap. So use that as kind of a guide, and you kind of figure out relative distance, right? Or relative length of different circuits or the different races that these events offer. Anyway, tier 2, we got autocross at Leipzig's Porsche Test Track long on-road circuit. It's an autocross, so payout's going to be fairly limited. Same for Speed Snap. This one at Hockenheim National. So Speed Snap, max that you get paid is maybe 4,000, depending on how long of a circuit that the event covers. and sometimes as low as like 2,000 and change motorsport dollars. So yeah, you're not gonna get much from those, but that's a-okay. That might make it worthwhile going a little bit deeper in the limited series, you know, within the 3-hour instant service is available. Anyway, tier 2 Cup is going to be at Lime Rock Park South Circuit. So let's see, South Circuit is the one with the sharp chicane, not the bus stop that happens later. That's the West Circuit. So South Circuit has that much slower part feature in the circuit, and it's going to be a 3-lap Cup, PR 45.4 required. So yeah, and because of that tier 13, bot training is a mandatory if you're running with minimal PR. That goes without saying. Right. Anyway, tier 3, we got drag race at Suzuka East, elimination at Monza Road Course, and the Cup at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit. By the way, elimination, of course, it's a timed event, so payout is generally about 11,000 motorsport dollars, no matter where it takes place. So anyway, Cup, Circuit of the Americas, 2 laps, PR 46.4 required for those 2 laps at the National Circuit. And tier 4, we start with a head-to-head at Mount Panorama. So that's a pretty lengthy circuit. So payout should be close to probably like 12,000 motorsport dollars for a lap around Mount Panorama. Mount Panorama and Spa, the 2 longer circuits, right? Discounting the Le Mans circuit, 24-hour circuit, that's just like a completely different league of its own, right? Anyway, first endurance at Spa here. If you just win by minimal margin of victory, meaning not terribly aggressive bot training where you lose intentionally, then you typically need to run at least about 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers and change. So I want to say that's a little shy of a full lap at Spa. So that would probably pay about like 10 grand motorsport dollars, right, for that endurance. And then Cup for tier 4, National Circuit, Catalunya National, right? 2 laps, PR 47.5 required, and that number, that's the 25% reward PR, right? Where you get to earn 5 gold and 750 victory points and some motorsport dollars, right? Without putting any gold upgrades on this car, PR only goes up to 47.3. So they keep it just behind that paywall, so to speak. Anywho, so yeah, for this event, if you're running, there's no reward unless you spend enough to, you know, complete the event, which is going to be, in this case, 309 gold and 1.3 million motorsport dollars and change, right? But, you know, 50 of it you get back in terms of gold. So your net cost is more like 259 gold and that's just shy of 1.2 million motorsport dollars. But of course, you're going to regain at least 2 full days worth of motorsport dollars, meaning 500,000 you'll be getting back from just going through the races themselves. So at the end of the day, your net cost might come out closer to about like maybe 600,000 motorsport dollars, somewhere around there is my guess. Anyway, moving on. Next, tier 6, we got Speed Snap at Monza Junior course, one of the lower speed target speed snaps in the game. That one and the dynamic circuit, the Leipzig circuit, right? The Porsche test track, that also has a pretty low target. And another one would be Melbourne. That also has generally a pretty easy speed snap target speed. All right, and then we got Autocross at Dubai Club Circuit, followed by Cup at Melbourne. It's going to be 4 laps with a PR requirement 49.2. Moving on, Tier 7, we got Endurance at Catalunya Club Circuit, head-to-head at Bugatti Circuit, and Cup at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix Circuit. It's going to be 3 laps, PR 50 required. So as we progress further in the series, the races do get slightly longer, so payout gets higher, as I was saying. All right, and Tier 8. So you need 2 gold trophies here to claim that 50% completion reward. So we got Hunter as Suzuka West and Elimination as Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Circuit, followed by the Cup at the Brickyard Road Course. 3-lap Cup, PR 50.8 required, which will get you to the next tier, Tier 9. We got Autocross at Mount Panorama, speed record at Silverstone National, and the Cup at Hockenheim National. 3 laps, PR 51.5 required. Alright, and Tier 10, we got Speed Snap at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix Circuit, Endurance at Lime Rock Park, this time West Circuit, that's the one with the bus stop chicane, as featured in this week's weekly time trial, right? I know they start to blend all together in my head. And then Cup at Laguna Seca, 4 laps, so lap count getting higher. 52.2 is the PR requirement. And Tier 11, we got Autocross at Bugatti Circuit, followed by the second instance of drag race. This one at the Brickyard Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. And then Cup at Spa. So this one's going to be paying out pretty high. PR 53 required for these 3 laps. That's going to pay about, what, like 300, or not 300, 36,000 motorsport dollars and change probably. So that's what you need to get past Tier 11 to claim your 75% completion reward. And Tier 12 when you get a single gold trophy. So that can come in an elimination from Catalunya National, or you can do Speed Snap as Suzuka East, or you can do the Cup, since at this point you're running through all the way, right? The Cup at the Leipzig Porsche Test Track Long On-Road Circuit, 3 laps, not quite as long as it is in the previous tier where we had 3-lap Cup at the Spa, but nevertheless it's a, you know, full-length circuit. I mean, there's a long in the title of the circuit, even though it's longer than, let's say, shorter, right? 53.7 is the PR requirement, and the infamous Tier 13, where we got that speed record at the Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit. So with the now revised upgrade tree, that should be okay, assuming that you bot train, because without bot training, you may still have issues. All right, and then we got Endurance at Melbourne. That's fine. And then Cup at another longer circuit, Mount Panorama. This one's also going to be a 4 laps. So this is, I think, possibly the longest race available in this event. PR 54.5 required. Either this one or last one is the 5-lap Cup at Monza, isn't it? So that one, maybe, yeah, that one might be longer. Okay. Point being, the payout gets, you know, pretty high. So in the second day, so to speak, you may reach about Tier 13, Tier 14. Then you may have to complete the final tier on the day 3. But you got 7 days to complete it, so which is plenty of time. So anyway, Tier 14, we got head-to-head at Laguna Seca, Autocross at Daytona Motorcycle Course, followed by Cup at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit, 4 laps. That's a pretty short one. PR 55.3 required. And then Tier 15, we got speed record at Lime Rock Park West Circuit, elimination at the Brickyard Road Course, and the final Cup at Monza Road Course. Right, 5 laps, PR 56.2 required, and in this time around, you're gonna have to get this kind of upgrade tree, 5 on engine, 3 on all the other categories except for the brakes, where you only need one first tier Motorsport dollar upgrade, so no gold spent there. So there you go. So hopefully you guys find this information useful, and yeah, good luck racing. Take care, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.